the ancient initiatic rites are coming back, where at the moment a boy, when he's 18 or 21, he's like given a car or got a job. But the way humans really naturally live on this planet is a boy becomes a man, and there's initiation, and there's more. It's a bit more compassionate, a bit more subtle, a bit more personal. And that's the way humans are really naturally. In our hearts, we all like things to be a bit more personal and a bit more about energy. And I see that coming back to how the ancients lived a little bit more.
Yeah, that makes me think a little bit about like living in a tribe and things like this. Here in Beneficio, it's like rainbow, and they talk a lot about the tribes and the Hopi Indians, talking about that we need to build strong networks to be able to cope with the times ahead.
Yeah.
And I can feel that definitely from being a parent, the need of support and having other people that are also like awake and being able to create something around you.
This is helpful, yeah. This is needed. We do need people to be together. Like-minded people need to be together. This is very true. And especially a lot of people can feel that something's coming. No one knows what. I mean, there are books and books and documentaries, but no one knows what's coming.
Sure.
But something's coming. You can feel it in the air, and it's about aligning yourself with those changes. Do you know, I mean, if the cash point stops giving money and the supermarket lorries stop running, I mean, what would you do? What would you do? If you're in a city, what would you do? It would be chaos.
Yeah, I feel it's good to have a plan, even though some people are really desperate about they have to find a bunker and stay there, and that might be a little bit over the top, but just have some clues, have some plan B, maybe a plan C, where to go when there's no food, where there's no water, and where is the closest water source. So things like this is just healthy, and for myself, I like to have a place where I can feel secure, that I have some food for some time and things like this.
Because I only started living off the land with my own land a few months ago, and it's hard, you know. I've been learning the hard way. There's no instruction manual how to get everything clean, how to build stuff, how to channel water, how to pipe water, how to keep things going. I've never done this before in my life, but I'm so glad I've learned what I have already in the short time, and I'm sure there's a lot more learning for me to come. But at school we're not taught how to build anything, how to grow food, where fresh water comes from, how to keep water clean. We're not taught any of this, and as humans on this planet, this is fundamental.
Yeah, this is really the basic things we ought to do.
This is the most basic thing.
Yeah. As we said before, like people are just into survival in society, but survival to most people just getting your paycheck.
Yeah.
It's not about these basic things that really is about surviving, and it might be
happy way.
Yeah, it might be a good way also to see that you can maybe change some of your behaviors into this field, as it's quite close, like how to survive in reality.
Yeah, in real reality.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, there's no one to phone, there's no authority to phone, there's no mechanics going to come out. You know, you're on your own living off the land. Well, you're not on your own, but you've got to deal with stuff. There's no safety nets, is what I mean. There's no safety nets. But it's something beautiful about living closer to the land. You're closer to the elements.
Great.
Closer to nature.
Yeah.
Closer to the sun.
This has really been an important lesson to me, to be out here in this 7 past month I've been traveling in Spain. It's just a little bit of how I could survive in a future society that might not be as easy as today. And we have this experience now already, so I feel prepared. I know I can set up a teepee,
a home.
Yeah, a home and live it, even with a family.
Yeah, which is as tough as it gets, Mikael. It's as tough as it gets. And with the family, building a teepee, a home, a kitchen, some music, and it's not that hard to do, but you know how to do it.
It's great.
But for someone living in a flat in a city with a 9-to-5 job and going to the bar and restaurants every night, this is difficult.
Sure.
And I see that a lot of that society going, or some changes in that society. And it's a case of where will you be, ready for the next generation, which I think will live on this planet very differently to the current one.
I have a feeling that there will be some transaction time. I see a future where that's really prosperous, and it's a good future. But in this transaction time, there will be more or less two camps. One that's like off-grid, maybe quite a lot off-grid.
And a lot controlled.
And the other one is going to be a lot controlled. And in the controlled site, you will still have most of the things you have today. Maybe
the hospitals, the healthcare.
Not maybe in this abundance that we have today, but it will be there if you will follow all the rules and this tutorial society that's coming. But really to cope and go through it, I think most people need to try to get more and more off-grid and not get hooked up with this
fashion, celebrity. And the good thing with those two camps during this transition is the children at school will look up and they'll see these two camps and they'll grow up and they'll go through later years and they'll go, well, do I go into that camp or that camp? And I'm pretty sure in that next generation what camp they're going to choose.
Sure.
And that's when the transition will come.
Sure. Yeah, the truth is so obvious and so easy to get hold of these days. So, like in a place like this, everybody knows a little bit about the Illuminati and how things are run. And I think all children today, like I heard a lot of stories about like what's happening in the breaks on school. They talk about 9/11. The kids know about these kind of things, and so they will be able to. The ones who understand will have the possibility to choose a life for themselves that's quite different, and this gives me a great hope.
One thing I'd like to say, with all this information that can be a lot of fun and it can be a lot of hard, it can be quite hard ingesting all this information, is I see a lot of people looking at it as a hobby. They're sort of saying, what documentaries have you watched? I watched this one, this one, this one. Oh, have you seen that one? And they're just digesting more and more information but not changing their lives.
Sure.
Now, there's no point in watching 100 documentaries and not changing your life. You're better off watching one and making a little change, because the information is about one thing. It's about integrating it so it motivates you to align to the correct energy. There's no point in digesting all this information and then still banking with a bad bank, spending money on insurance with a bad insurance company, and doing all these things in the matrix when you've digested all this information. I mean, if you're awake to the information, that is a red light. Do something. Make a change.
Definitely.
Be strong. This is what I see a lot. A lot of people they're reading all this like a hobby. Instead of going to badminton, they're like, oh, I read about the Illuminati.
Yeah, this is a big thing also for my viewers on Vaken.se. It's like I think Vaken is really important. This is the main gateway for many people inside to start seeing some of the lies. And this, when you pass through this gate, you have to continue on. It's no reason to like go chatting on the Vaken forum for years and years,
theorizing and theorizing
and telling people what's this and that, what's true and what's not.
Having a 3-day argument about who did kill JFK or the theories on 9/11.
Sure, that's not the point.
It's not the point.
The point is understand, open up your eyes, see a broader perspective, and then continue on and make friends. And through like Vaken or any other like network like this, it's a good place to join in and get friends. And also to share this information. That's what the Vaken is a lot about, also to go out and share it. But when you have got it, when you're starting to wake up, you can just let go of this and see this is not the important part. The important part is what's happening in my life.
Yes, totally. I really agree with that. I call this going through the information, going through the washing machine. I've said this many times. You go through the washing machine, but you have to come out the other side. Some people get in the washing machine and then they get angry and bitter because maybe they have quite a toxic life with a lot of drugs and drink, which is quite a natural thing in today's world, in mainstream society. So you're reading all this information and you're going to work 9 to 5, and this can make people very angry and depressed. And if you're using the information to go down, stop digesting the information, because the information should be a springboard to make you go up. To then start living in a bit of a flow and finding these synchronicities that are signposts. So we're not living by a calendar, I'm doing this then, this then. We're just a bit more flowy with the water of life.
Yeah.
And what's your website again, Mikael? Your network in Sweden, just for my friends.
It's Vaken.se, that's awake Sweden. So it's vaken.se.
Okay, I hope you got that.
So you can go there and Google Translate it, and you'll probably find some nice article about what's happening right now. And with all that said, I think it's great, and I'm really happy to be able to spend some time and talk to you.
Yeah, we really do.